is globalization?
Globalization is the process by which businesses or other organization develops international influence or start operating in international scale. It is also called as the level up or upgrade in their standards. It is a state where you act globally, an interaction that helps to solve global crises and addresses international problems. In economics, we considered three kinds of globalization: social globalization, economic globalization, and political globalization. Social globalization refers to the sharing of ideas and information between and through different countries. In today's world, the internet and social media is at the heart of this. Good examples of social globalization could include internationally popular films, books, and TV series. This cultural flow tends to flow from the center to less developed countries. Hence, social globalization is often criticized for eroding cultural differences. On the other hand, economic globalization refers to the interconnectedness of economies through trade and the exchange of resources. Effectively, therefore, no national economy really operates in isolation, which means national economy influence each other. Economic globalization also means that there is a two-way structure for technologies and resources. Now, we will focus about the political globalization. Politics is the study of the ways in which the countries are governed. It's the action or activities associated on the governance of the country. Therefore, political globalization refers to the amount of political cooperation that exists between different countries. This ties in with the belief that umbrella global organizations are better placed than individual states to prevent conflict. The League of Nations, established after World War I, was certainly one of the pioneers in this. Since then, global organizations such as the World Trade Organizations, United Nations, and more regional organizations such as the EU have helped to increase the degree of political globalization. The principles of politics believe that the power of the nation lies in the capability of the people in it. Hence, there are factors affecting the political stand and governance of a nation. Illnesses or sickness, lack of supply, involvement to war, global inequalities, and terrorism.
Next is nation state. The nation state has two main components: the nation and the state.
Nation. Social group that is linked through common descent, culture, language, territorial contiguity, etc. State is the new institutional reform in the wake of the demise of the feudal system. It has its organizational body structure from regardless to economic class, and most resources come from taxes rather than from feudal, personal, and religious obligations. Nation state can therefore be seen as integration of the subgroups that define themselves as a nation with organizational structure that constitute the state. It is a system of organizations in which people with a common identity live inside a country with firm borders and a single government. The nation-state has dramatic influence on the way we live our lives. It's how we identify ourselves. I'm Filipino, I'm American, I'm Russian, etc. It also determines what language we speak, what laws we follow, what holidays we celebrate. A nation-state is held together by its physical boundaries, its government, and the fact that people believe that they are connected to each other.
What are the effects of political globalization in the nation-state? Economic, social demographic, and technological forces altering relationships among the nations as well as the nature and politics. The wave of globalization is certainly resistible, although more often confronted with a lot of mixed reactions, which to some degree reflect a lot of frustration and dissatisfaction. The wiping away of the nation-state sovereignty, especially with regards to socio-economics and political autonomy. As a matter of fact, the nation-state is seen as a toothless partner in the process and does not have the power or mandate to control or have a democratic voices pertaining to the principles and policies under which the globalization gospel is advanced. Economically, globalization has built monopoly whereby the class capitalist society which is dominated by the transnational corporation in the global north. In a sense that nation-state is compelled to alter the education policies to accommodate the intersocial relationship prescribed by the global density and interconnectedness.
What is civil society? Civil society is the third sector of our society. It is a sphere of organizations, institutions, and individuals located between the family, the state, and the market, in which people associate voluntarily to advance common interests. Civil society. It is a broad term denoting the wide range of organizations operating outside the governmental business sector. It has taken on greater significance in a world in which the state is increasingly beset from within by armed rebellion and ethnic tensions, and by the border leaping forces of globalization. The essence of civil society differs from the public and the private sector. In public sector, it is characterized by the concept of power, authority, legitimacy, and democracy. In private sector are the markets, competition, profits, customership, and consumerism. Global civil society. It is about the understanding from below, from perspective of ordinary people. Civil society flow through globalizations, and at the same time, people who participate in civil societies are globalizers themselves. Jan Kian defines global civil society as a dynamic, non-governmental system of interconnected socio-economic institutions that straddle the whole earth. Factors: 1. It is non-governmental. 2. A form of society composed of interlinked social processes oriented to civility. 3. Pluralistic, including the strong potential to reduce conflict. And 4. Global.
International non-governmental organizations. These are non-profit organizations that shares advocacies and does not run by nation-state. Their main objectives is to fill some lapses of supported organizations and to voice out some issues they need to focus on. Their bodies and members were characterized by private, citizens, voluntary, and has no compensation at any amount. The international non-governmental organizations, or INGO, are oriented to bring about some sort of political and social changes. Like in the present, they influence the people to participate in multilateral forums and institutions, promote interstate cooperation, and facilitate political participation on the part of the government to the public. In history, the first account to record as the earliest INGO was the Red Cross founded in Switzerland 1865. Until then, it blooms to pores and many people join to support this group, hence become controversial by mixing politics and beliefs on it. The characteristics of INGO are it is invaluable to global arena. It is the grassroots organization that is much more in touch with the needs and interests of the members as compared to the larger and more formal organizations that are associated with the nation-state or the international community. They can be able to get the help or relief faster to people in poor countries or to the victims of disaster. And lastly, they has more capability to gather the media and people attention to voice out certain on-point issues that force the formal organization to take an action into it.